Hey guys, this is Rachel, otherwise known as Spunky Misfit Girl, and welcome to Tuesday Truths. Today's topic is a really important one that I really struggle with, and I think probably a lot of you do too. It's all about self promotion and how to stop feeling guilty for promoting yourself. I have a really tough time with this, especially now having launched the blog. I feel like all I do is talk about myself and my writing and what I'm doing and this and that. And the truth of it is that nobody minds. It's not a big deal. And I have a couple of different ways that I think about this that kind of helps me to get over it and do it anyway. And the first one is that I read somewhere this story, and I don't remember where it was or where it came from. So if you come across it somewhere, let me know. The idea was this: if you had a friend who had a problem that you could solve, take your pick, whatever it was. She was having trouble with her boyfriend, or she had mice at her house and she didn't know how to get rid of them. Anything. And you knew the answer. You knew how to solve her problem for her, but you never said anything. How do you think your friend would feel? Do you think that she would be annoyed? Do you think that if you did tell her and completely solved her problem very easily, that would bother her? No. Probably not, right? Probably if you offer the solution to someone's problem, they like it. Now, you're not really talking about your friend here, talking to your friend. You're trying to just solve problems for people a little bit in a situation where you don't know necessarily. You're talking about your stuff. You don't know if the person you're talking to at the moment is, going to have the problem that you're trying to solve. And maybe they don't. And that's no big deal. They can say no. It's fine. It's up to them. And one of the things that I found is that, people don't even really pay attention. If you're not in their heads doing something that they really need, they're just gonna glide right over you and not be bothered. Whereas if you are in their heads doing something that they really need, that's when they need you and that's when they want you. And so it's a good thing you told that person about what you're doing, right? There's a blogger that I follow named Mary Fernandez who actually had written a really interesting article about how to stand out for boost blog traffic. And I had read it a while back and thought it was amazing. And actually, I think that's how I first discovered Mary and started following her. Well, today, in my email, I got an email that linked to that blog post of hers again. And I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. Let me look at this. I want to read this. This is a great title. I'd really like to write more titles like this. And I clicked on it and I started reading it and I realized I already read this. I read this a while ago. And I was like, wow, it's a really good article. And so, it just goes to show that, she sent me that link and I had already seen it and I still thought it was cool. So, who's going to care if I send them the link? Or if I tweet the link to some of my blog posts over and over again, or if I Facebook post some of my blog posts over and over again. If you're someone who's following me religiously, I apologize. I'm gonna promote some of my stuff over and over again. That's the way it goes. But lots of times people aren't even gonna have seen it the first time. Or even if they have, maybe they'll come back and read it again, like me. That's the thing. It's that people want your stuff. And I actually came across one more example this week that was really, really proved this point to me. It really drove it home. One of my favorite writers, Jonathan Howard, is the author of the Johannes Cabal series, which you may have seen me talk about before if you've been following this video series. And it turns out that he has a new book out, and it's been out since the beginning of October. Actually, I don't think that's right. Middle of October. Either way, it's been out for a while, at least a month, and I hadn't heard about it. I follow him on Twitter. When I discovered the Johannes Cabal series, I emailed him and I was like, how do I find out we have a book out? He has no email list. There's no way. I mean, like, I would have bought this book the instant it came out. And, like, I would have no problem with him telling me that he has a new book out, right? So I'm trying to use those type of examples from my own life to show myself that talking about my own work and promoting my own stuff is not a problem. And I hope that you can find it useful to talk about your work, okay? There's nothing wrong with it. And the people who want to know, for real, okay? If you're enjoying the Tuesday Truth series, please make sure you sign up for the Spunky Misfit Girl email list. You can go to the website at www.spunkymisfitgirl.com. If you're enjoying the Tuesday Truth series, make sure you sign up for the Spunky Misfit Girl email list. There's a form in the sidebar on the main page. There's also a form at the end of every blog post. You'll see it at the bottom of this blog post. Make sure you go and sign up for motivation and inspiration in your inbox every week and access to special goodies that only the email list gets. Come and embrace your weird. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. See you next week.